G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to an awesome replay. I have had a quick look at this one before I watched it, and it is actually really cool. It is kind of long, but I know you guys like some of the longer replays. No awesome names at all that that you would probably actually know of. We do have a red Protoss here up in the top left corner of Shakuras Plateau, and he's I'm not actually sure who this guy is. He is pretty good though. He's just over 2k points on the Korean ladder, I think. So he's definitely up there in terms of skill. And he is going to be against this blue Terran down here, Fire, down in the bottom right corner of the Plateau. So yeah, we'll be calling the Protoss just Red or Protoss or something like that, just purely because I couldn't find out what his name meant, and unfortunately the man himself, Junker, from the GSL, doing the awesome translations there, was not around to translate it for me, so I couldn't actually do that. Just a couple of quick things before we get too far into this. I haven't actually done too many replays lately, just because I've spent pretty much the whole week trying to actually find a better way to actually render the replays, because I was having a few issues with glitches and that sort of thing. So I actually had to go back to the old methods, so hopefully everything is still fine. But anyway, the red Protoss has now scouted down here to the bottom right corner. Just a quick thing, which seemingly not too many people actually know about on this map, is that if the spawn positions for this map are always going to be horizontal across like this, or down on an angle like this, so just across the map there. So when you're scouting, I know most people actually wouldn't go sort of, up here to the horizontal, then go back down across to the diagonal. But just in case you do have that issue, you can just scout down that way, because you never spawn vertically like this, so straight up here. I don't know why. It's really weird. But anyway, let's just have a look at what the guys are doing with their openings. Fire's going forward, just a very generic opening here, grabbing the tech lab. He's got a Reaper on the way. Actually, that's not that generic anymore. We don't see Reapers too often these days. Since the Reaper nerf, I'm still of the opinion that putting the Reaper speed upgrade on, like, requiring the factory was actually a bit too harsh. Probably should have been something else, but either way, what's done is done. But as I said, we don't actually see Reapers too often these days anymore. They have been starting to trend a little bit on the Korean ladder in terms of getting masses of them against Protoss, which is a little bit interesting. Just on some of the maps, obviously the architecture can allow it, because you can jump a Reaper up these corner bits and then run around, and you can cause a lot of havoc there. Interesting to see that Red has not gotten his second gas, so he's definitely not going to be teching too hard at the start or getting too many sentries right away. It looks as if he might be expanding down to the natural pretty quickly, as he does have the probe here, and I think he's about to start the Nexus in just a sec. Ooh, he doesn't actually see that the Reaper has come in, but it does come in here. It's taking shots at these units here, but Red does have the standard sort of what I like to call a standard opening for Protoss units against Terran is just this 1-1-1, where you've got the Stalker, the Zealot, and the Sentry. So you can generally hold off against any sorts of early rushes that the Terrans do like to do, which can be, two Marauders and a Marine, or two Marines and a Marauder, that sort of thing. So that sort of opening there, where you get the 1-1-1 Protoss units, not the Terran actual build there with the Starport Factory and Racks, but the Protoss, Zealot, and Sentry is a very nice standard opening, because of course you can force field as well with the Sentry there, being able to chuck down a force field to block off units, or perhaps prevent an escape. And we've got the Terran player here. He's also done the same thing. He's gone for the fast expansion, didn't get the second gas just yet. He's still only sitting on just the one gas. Meanwhile, Red has actually switched over to 2 gas now. He's got the second assimilator half done. He's building a couple of bunkers here. I think that's because he's not actually, he doesn't actually see that the expansion has gone up here, because that Reaper didn't actually come across in time. So he's probably just getting a couple of bunkers just to make sure that he's safe against any sorts of early pressure with, he's probably expecting there to be, what can he see over here? He can see one gate. He saw one gate and no second gas. So he is probably expecting some kind of, there would either be a proxy pylon going for a quick warp in, or perhaps just even a couple of gates just streaming out some zealots, or perhaps a couple of stalkers. So that's why he's grabbed the, he's got 2 marauders in each of these bunkers here, and even getting a 3rd bunker, which is interesting to see. And so he's just going to make sure he's very safe against that. He does have the SCV here spotting this this area here with the Xel'Naga Watchtower, which is really great to see. And to do his own scouting, the red Protoss is going to come across with an observer. He's going to see that the SCV has the watchtower here, and he's going to come across and see that Fire has sort of overreacted with his defense, but that's purely just because he couldn't see what was happening. Obviously, better to be safe than sorry. And also, it's kind of hard to call chucking down a heap of bunkers an overreaction, given that you can actually salvage the bunkers for 100% of the mineral cost. It's interesting to see that the on the bunkers they have they actually have here on the salvage button. I don't know if anyone's noticed. When you salvage, it says salvage returns the structure, removing it and returning 100% of its mineral and gas value. Because bunkers don't actually cost gas, so don't know why that's there. It's not as if salvage is on any other units. I suppose it's probably just there in the map editor, just in case someone wants to put a salvage on a Nexus or something ridiculous like that. Anyway, let's have a look at the tech there. We've got obviously both of these players doing pumping on their 2 bases with the around about 40 harvesters each, sitting on 43 roughly. And in terms of the tech, we've got a whole heap of gateways coming up here. We're going to move into 6 gates plus a robo. He's grabbing a few immortals as well, just to obviously supplement his attack forces there against any sorts of marauders. He does have a Twilight Council up. I'm not sure if this is just for... He may be going for some sort of timing attack. He may grab... perhaps, he's sort of heavy on Zealots and a little bit light on Stalkers, obviously because he's got the Immortals. So he may go for some sort of charge timing attack. Yes, he is. Oh, awesome. I wasn't really expecting that, but I thought we'd put it down anyway. So he's going to be grabbing a charge, and we will obviously expect, once the charge is done, we will expect an attack with all of these forces. Expect a few more Zealots to come out as well. No probes on this second gas here at the expansion, obviously, because he's only getting a few of these the gas units there. We do, there we go. We've got a few more Stalkers now, so that's a bit interesting. We got Fire is starting to move out with a very, very heavy Marauder force. This is there are only 4 Marines in this whole group, so that's quite interesting to see how heavy that is. Obviously, given how powerful Marauders are, it will be a very good attack. They do have stim and concussion shells is all done. He's going to move up the ramp here. He did see that there were a heap of units there. He might actually decide to turn around, because it was this is definitely not something he can beat, given how many Stalkers and now Immortals are here. We've got 3 Immortals here defending this position, and now we have the Protoss is now chucking down a pylon here at the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He's going to use the warp in to either you can warp in units across the ridge, just to make things a bit easier, or you can obviously warp them in here to get some reinforcements going. But he can see what is happening here at the Terran side of the map. He knows that there is a bit of a move out here. He saw those Marauders and Marines moving out. This is a very heavy ball here. We've got he does have 2. Is this split up into 2 groups? No, it's not. It's just one group. One group of units. He's going to stop that probe from getting anywhere. There is a factory also scouting out, just making sure that Protoss hasn't snuck this corner expansion here. And obviously he's going to see the reverse smiley face expansion up here. And we've got a pylon up here. Marine scouted this one. He's going to see this pylon. A Stalker's coming down to save it, so the pylon will definitely go up. And this pylon here at the Xel'Naga Watchtower is going to go down, though, so it's a bit of an exchange of pylons here. We've got some medevacs coming out. Let's just have a look at what the Terran's doing. He's got 5 racks all done and dusted. A brilliant little, pretty little supply depot wall here up against the edge. He still hasn't gotten rid of this observer. I'm quite surprised he hasn't either scanned or just put a turret down just to get rid of this Observer, but I don't know, either way it's all done. Upgrades are on the way for Fire. He's got +1 to weapons and armor on the way. He's got an armory here as well. This is all down in the corner, notice guys. So important to try and put these the sort of, you know, very important structures, the VIS structures, I suppose, down here in the corner. So they are very much protected against any sorts of attack. So they're not going to be up the front in the way of any sort of attack or anything like that, which some people do like to do. And they are going to be able to progress unhindered. He does have +2 on the way, infantry weapons level 2, I mean. So these Marauders are going to be quite strong. He does actually scan one of the observers sitting in the middle of the map. So Protoss is going to be very much aware of what is coming up here. He does have Storm on the way. Oh, Storm's already done, in fact, and Amulet is also on the way. +1 to armor is also coming. And we do have a drop here in the back. A Photon Cannon does spot the dropships here. They are going to pull out a lot of units, and they are going to get spotted, though. They all get back into the shuttle. They take out one cannon. And he's going to have to retreat with those medevacs. He's probably just going to leave them here just in case he actually needs to bring them up again. But it looks as if we have a very heavy force here from the Protoss. He's got a lot of Zealots here. We may see an engagement here down at the bottom of the natural ramp. There's, of course, Templar here. They've got a lot of energy in these Templar. So there's definitely going to be a lot of storming. Interesting part about the storming is that the storms do not really do too much to Marauders, obviously because they do have a lot of health. They're not going to be too affected by the fact that there will be a lot of storms, but of course it will whittle them down a bit for the Immortals to just use their extra damage there. They're 50 damage against armored, so they'll just crush through all of these Marauders once they do attack. And we do have him moving up here again. I think he's just trying to infer some pressure on the Protoss here, just making sure that he's being he has to watch the front and be very careful with what he's doing with this group of units. And as we can see, a probe transfer is going on because down here at the natural of the bottom left base, we have an expansion here from Protoss. So he's got a few cannons going down just to make sure it's defended. And he's going to get that one rolling soon as well. So both of these players are actually expanding quite a lot. We got planetary fortresses here from Fire. He's going to have this one up here shortly, and also this one is just about done now. An SCV transfer, 2 SCV transfers in fact. He's pulled a lot off the main and a few off the natural as well. Let's just have a look at how many harvesters there are. 72 probes are out for our Red Protoss, so he's definitely going to be having a really good income at the moment. Obviously the mules will be a big effect as well. Storms go down. There are some great storms on top of the Marauders and the Marines here. Some of the Marines did actually go down. A feedback, in fact, on some of these medevacs as well. So some of the medevacs getting a bit downsized there. As you can see here, a lot of these units are very, very hurt, especially these Marines. These Marines are basically one-shottable for any Protoss unit. So some great storms there. I think he just sort of caught Fire off guard by just moving in and taking that out. There was a drop here in the back. I'm sorry, I sort of missed that one, but it was just those 2 medevacs that had a couple of units in here. Doesn't look like there was too much damage done. There was a warp in here of a couple of Templar. But so that got deflected. We're going to see all the minerals gone now in the Protoss base. He's going to have to move these probes around somewhere. He does have this 4th expansion coming up here down at this main. And as we can see just as well, I just wanted to point out, we have armor, shields, and weapons on the way from the Protoss. So he's definitely taking advantage of the fact that he's got a very nice economy going. So he's pumping through with those upgrades. And as we can see, there is a nuke on the way from the Ghost Academy. It's really good to have some of these ghosts mixed in here. In fact, do we even have... Yeah, we got a couple of ghosts mixed in here. He's going to use the ghost to actually to EMP the Templar. As we can see there, beautiful EMP there. 3 of these Templar are now down. In fact, 4 of them are all out of storms, so that's a lot of the power of this Protoss force is now gone. He does have 1 more left though, puts it in a brilliant spot, loses a lot of Marines there. We see EMPs go down. A lot of these Protoss forces are going to have no shields at the moment, which is going to be really hard there. Storms going down on these sides. Another storm here, so there's a couple of Templar